I don't know, man. It's just that last movie. It really brought back some bad memories.
Yeah, like getting friend-zoned over Facebook?
Shut up.
Seriously though, you got to realize two things.
Which are?
Well, for one thing, it's Twilight. What in the sparkling were you expecting to see?
Okay, fair enough.
For another, you're a geeky internet reviewer whose costume consists of a frickin' Naruto headband with duct tape covering the symbol and a pair of cheap 3D glasses with the lenses popped out. People aren't going to take your word seriously, so you shouldn't either.
Sorry, man, I gotta call the line.
Alright then. I gotta wake up Nick anyhow for the next episode of Rock Smash. Where the fuck is my Jack? Never mind, he's already up. Owen, I wish you the best of luck on part 2. Oh, Nick, I got your Jack right here.
Hello?
Hey, Kira.
What do you want, dickbag?
Really, Kira? Do you just mix random profanities with equally random nouns? Ass taxi, lamp, rooster?
No. I can do way better than that. Could you hold on just a second? Note to self. Call someone a rooster.
I heard that!
Look, I know what I'm looking at. Can you just hang up so I can roll my friggin' theme music?
But where's the fun in that?
You'll be able to see me suffer that much quicker.
Fair enough.
Let's do this. Just a little faster. Is there really anything left to say about the Twilight Saga? Seriously, I think I've covered every single aspect of this so-called epic romance for the ages in my reviews of the last 4 movies. Okay, yes, I could mention the scandal that went down during the promotion for Breaking Dawn Part 2, in which Kristen Stewart may or may not have had an affair with the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, which would have made promoting the movie kind of awkward as she was dating co-star Robert Pattinson at the time. But that's stepping into TMZ territory, and I'd rather distance myself from those douchebags. Let's just get this over with. This is it. The finale all the little 13-year-old girls have been waiting for. Welcome to the 10th level of my own personal hell. This is the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, Part 2. The movie opens with... Padding filler, milk this out. Jeez, are we really gonna go through this again? I kid you not. This opening sequence lasts just under 3 minutes, but it's paced so agonizingly slow that it feels like an eternity. Anyways, after that, we open on the last shot from part 1, and we're given a montage of Bella adapting to her new vampire senses. Then her and Edward going through the same high school they've tortured me, and most of the audience with, for the last 4 movies. Although I gotta admit, there is one part that was kinda funny. I'm sorry, but that look on his face just screams, "Oh, sweet baby Jesus with a chainsaw, what have I done?" So after more high school I love yous that makes me want to slam my head against the wall multiple times, Edward decides to take Bella out on her first hunt so that she doesn't start trying to drink her new daughter's blood. And you know what time it is.
Show a lot of things happening at once, remind everyone of what's going on. And with every shot, show a little improvement. To show it all would take too long. That's called a montage. Girl, we want a montage.
They also take this time to, once again, give us a taste of Bella's new vampire senses before she catches the scent of a nearby rock climber and begins to chase after him. However, and I kid you not, she is able to stop herself from pursuing him any further, a feat Edward tells her that even mature vampires have trouble accomplishing. So apparently, Bella is now Vampire Jesus. They arrive back at Carlisle's house where Jacob greets them and we're reintroduced to... I'd make a joke about how they apparently couldn't afford a real baby, but to be fair, I wouldn't want Kristen Stewart anywhere near my child either. Still creepy as all hell, though. Bella finds out about Renesmee's tactile telekinesis when Jacob suddenly steps in and reveals his creepy little secret, which Bella takes about as well as you'd expect.
You think Edward would let me live if it was?
Still debating.
I've held her once. One time, Jacob! And already you think that you have some moronic, wolfy claim on her? She's mine!
Unfortunately, while I guess this is supposed to be an intense scene, it's ruined by two things. First, in trying to sound like she's rightfully pissed off, Kristen Stewart's delivery makes her sound, for lack of a better word, constipated. Secondly, the Cullens, with the exception of Esme and Carlisle, are once again showing what assholes they are. Even Rosalie, a character who, need I remind you, I used to sympathize with, is coming off so unlikable that it's actually making me feel sorry for the friggin' pedo wolf! Long story short, Jacob is able to calm Bella down, and we then cut through some BS padding showing the house the Cullens built for our favorite match made in hell, and they once again do the horizontal monster mash. After said marathon of vampire sex, it's revealed that Charlie thinks Bella is dying, and the Cullens are going to have to leave Forks once news breaks that Bella's dead. This prompts Jacob to go visit Charlie, and, well, Miss Valentine, you want to field this one?
I think it's time for some fan service.
I guess they gotta keep Team Jacob happy somehow. And Jacob reveals to Charlie that he's in fact a werewolf, or a shifter for those of you who read the book. Yeah, it's revealed at the end of the actual book that the Quillettes aren't really werewolves so much as shapeshifters that just happen to turn into giant wolves. Granted, this point is never mentioned, most likely so that Summon Entertainment could avoid getting sued by the creators of Animorphs. After revealing that he's a werewolf, Jacob explains to Charlie that in order to get over her terminal illness, Bella had to change, and that she and Edward adopted a child, and then invites him over to meet Bella and Renesmee. This means the Cullens have to teach her how to act human. Yeah, put your own Kristen Stewart joke there. So Charlie arrives, and the Cullens decide to leave him alone with the recently turned Bella, who, once again, is a newborn vampire. A class of vampires, need I remind you, that are known for having an uncontrollable thirst for blood.
Dumbass!
Luckily for Charlie, Bella is Vampire Jesus and is able to control her thirst while she explains everything. Of course, by explains everything, I mean she explains Jack. And she then proceeds to introduce Charlie to Renesmee. Seriously? The baby from Son of the Mask? Way more realistic looking than that. So after Charlie leaves, we get more
padding filler, milk the out.
In the form of Bella and Emmett arm wrestling, Jacob reconciling with his pack, well, Sam at least, and the plot setting Renesmee's development to ludicrous speed. Also, she seems to have inherited her mother's acting chops.
Look, a snowflake.
It's beautiful.
Granted, this is a child actor we're dealing with, so I'm just gonna chalk that up to inexperience, as opposed to incompetence or bad directing. Unfortunately, the super happy fun times quickly end when Irina, the throwaway character from the last movie, you know, the one who was revealed to be the mate of one of those 3 evil vampires from the first movie, sees Renesmee, now played by the not CGI Mackenzie Foy, and assumes that the Cullens have turned a child, which is apparently a big no-no in vampire culture, and then goes to inform the Volturi, where Michael Sheen gets to work on his George Takei impression.
Oh my.
This triggers Alice's ability to see the future, which reveals that the Volturi plan to execute the Cullens for their crime, and Carlisle goes into an exposition dump about immortal children, or children who have been turned into vampires.
The immortal children were very beautiful, so enchanting. To be near them was to love them. But their development was frozen at the age they were turned. They couldn't be taught or restrained. A single tantrum could destroy an entire village.
He also reveals that the Volturi will not only kill the immortal children themselves, but any member of the Coven that would try and protect them. So Edward convinces Carlisle to call up his old vampire buddies to come down and serve as witnesses to help convince the Volturi that Renesmee isn't the little Satan spawn they think she is. Fast forward through even more.
Padding filler, milk the out.
In the form of the Cullens and Jacob recruiting witnesses, as well as taking their sweet-ass time revealing some of their special abilities, and it's revealed that Bella has the ability to create shields. Hey, look, it was a plot point. Go back and watch my New Moon review if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyways, some vampire rebels show up and reveal that the Volturi apparently aren't just coming to kill Renesmee, but to recruit Alice, as Aro has a nasty habit of recruiting vampires with rare abilities such as Alice's, which would explain an earlier scene where Alice and Jasper just up and decided to leave Forks. This news is apparently all the motivation they need, and they agree to help fight while Jacob apparently recruits his pack off-screen. Kate, a fellow member of Irina's coven, the Denali's, played by Casey LeBeau, also decides to help teach Bella how to use her shield ability to protect others from the abilities of Jane and her brother Alec, which leads to one of the most entertaining sequences in the entire movie. And shockingly, it doesn't involve Charlie.
Edward, I'm not ready to do this yet.
Can we see that again?
Edward, I'm not ready to do this yet.
One more time?
Edward, I'm not ready to do this yet.
That's for being a rooster. Unfortunately, this scene ends soon after, as Bella is quickly able to master her ability as the movie goes back to... God damn it. More padding and filler. After that, Bella drops Jacob and Renesmee off with Charlie, who seems to have taken his granddaughter's growth spurt quite well, considering the fact that the last time he saw her, she was still an infant. Bella then heads off to a friend of the Cullens at the request of a note left by Alice to pick up some new IDs that Jasper ordered for Jacob and Renesmee, revealing to Bella that they're the only two that will survive the Volturi's attack. Which, admittedly, would add some great tension here, If not for the fact that in the first movie, Edward reveals that Alice's visions aren't really set in stone, and can be changed if the person she sees changes their mind or some crap like that. The point is, this plot point, entirely pointless. Sometime later, around Christmas time to be exact, the Cullens and the Quillettes arrive at the field where Alice said the Volturi would appear, which they do. Also, if the build from Eclipse has taught me anything, we're gonna get an awesome war scene. But, knowing this series, there's gonna be some bullcrap cop-out ending to ruin it. Carlisle tries to reason with Aro, who agrees to meet Renesmee, and this leads to the single most infamously hilarious scene in the entire movie. What the hell's with that laugh? Seriously, it sounds like someone kicked him in the crotch off screen. Anyways, Renesmee meets Aro in his rape face, and after learning that she is in fact a crossbreed, well... yeah! So after that satisfying bit of ultraviolence, Jane is the next to make her move as she tries to use her powers on Edward, but Bella quickly throws up a shield and renders her completely useless. However, Aro takes this as a threat and proceeds to give the rest of the Volturi a speech about how the Cullens may not have committed any crimes, but they should still kill them because they know nothing about Renesmee, yada yada generic bad guy crap, when Alice and Jasper arrive on the scene. They confront Aro, telling him that the Volturi has nothing to fear, and Alice lets him read her mind to prove it, only to find out that he still wants to kill the Cullens, so she signals Bella, who tells Jacob and Renesmee to run, just as Aro orders the Volturi to take her away. Carlisle, taking exception to this, tries to stop him, but...
Fatality.
And it's here that the director decides to take a few creative liberties with the story. And we are given the most brutally awesome war scene to have ever come out of the Twilight Saga. Hit it! Working together, Edward and Bella are able to take Aro's head off, and Bella grabs a torch to incinerate his remains. Oh, no, 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 no. You know what? I am going to finish this review even if it kills me. You mother did it again! This was easily just as good, if not better, than the battle scene from Eclipse. And you ruined it by essentially saying that it never even happened?
Bullshit.
Bullshit. That's it. Movie's over. You wanna know what happens after that? Alice reveals that she and Jasper brought along another crossbreed like Renesmee, who easily convinces Aro that they are not a threat, so the Volturi leave and they all live happily ever after with no negative repercussions whatsoever. friend of mine from high school always used to tell me this when it comes to visual media. The ending is paramount. The way a comic, TV show, book, or even a movie ends can be the difference between the greatest thing ever and kill it with fire. Unfortunately, and ironically, this ending firmly puts the Twilight Saga in the latter category. This was supposed to be the big, epic finale to the Twilight Saga, the series going out with a bang, if you will. Granted, I don't know why I expected more from this movie. Though, when the review quote on the back of your DVD says the best Twilight ever, you tend to expect more than that. Okay, yes, there was a cop-out ending in the book as well. But to be fair, it wasn't a blatant slap in the face to the fanbase like this was. Even if most Twihards still probably ate it up without question. You want to know how it ends in the book? Yes, Jasper and Alice still bring the crossbreed with them, and yes, he still just as easily convinces the Volturi that they have nothing to fear in Renesmee. But at least Meyer didn't pull this tease bull on her readers. And you want to know what really pisses me off about this ending? It's that these so-called characters get off scot-free and have their perfect little relationship with no consequences for their actions. I got a newsflash for you. Reality doesn't work like that. As much as I'd like to go into a huge spiel about how this relationship is beyond impossible, I honestly feel like I'd be coming off a little too bitter for my own liking. And quite frankly, I'd be talking out of my ass. With that being said, this relationship was a little too perfect. Even the most perfect couples you see in romantic comedies or whatnot have some kind of drama in them. They have arguments, and quite often there are scenes where the characters deal with the consequences of their actions. Aside from the events of New Moon, you don't see this happen with Edward and Bella, and we're expected to believe that they never got over their honeymoon phase of the relationship. Hell, we still have no idea what these two see in each other, or why they even decide to pursue a relationship knowing the apparent dangers that a human-vampire relationship can have in this universe. In short, relationships don't work that way!
Don't look away from the